Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Come on in, have a seat. And today we're going to talk about making real change in your life. So let's see here. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. Let's get this out. Let some people know where we're at. And whoop, whoop, whoop. There it is. Good morning, chain breakers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, February the 3rd, 2020, and this is going to be another fantastic day because that's the way I choose for my day to be. Hi, I'm Brad Smith. I am your host for Chain Breakers 365 Live and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise, and I want to welcome you here today. We got a lot of people starting to jump on in. Laura, good morning. Andy, how are you? Nat, good to see you, my friend. You may have been screaming at that TV a little bit, but your Chiefs pulled it off. Hey, Christy, glad you're in here too. It is a marvelous Monday. Do you believe we are already in the second month of 2020? How fast things are changing. And that's what I want to talk about today is change and creating real change for you and for your life. You see, I want to talk about what happens if we don't change. Now, not only if you fail to plan, right? If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. That's a typical answer, right? Here's the other side of it. If you don't create a plan for your own life, you will become a plan for somebody else to achieve theirs. Now, the question is, are you going to work to create a real change, a real accomplishment, something you can really, truly do for you and your family or for somebody else? You see, that's the interesting thing about change. Change is something that we strive for. Change is something we want for us and for our families. And yet at the same time, there's the dichotomy within our own humanness that wants things to be comfortable, that wants things to remain consistent. Let's take a real example that a lot of us know. It's a real funny movie, and there was a spin-off of that again yesterday on the Super Bowl in a Jeep commercial. But let's talk about Groundhog Day. If you remember the movie Groundhog Day, every single day Bill Murray woke up repeating the same day again and again and again. Now, maybe your life isn't to that extreme. Maybe you're not saying hi to the same people in the same way every single day, that the very exact same things happen day after day after day, and they don't change. Maybe your life isn't to that extreme. But when we continue to just exist, we're not far from it. We're not really truly growing. You see, here's the other side of it. For years, I guarantee you in your life, you changed continually. You see, as we were children, we grew automatically, just part of the growth process for our lives. We grew every day. We changed every day, right? We learned to tie our shoes. We learned to count. We learned to say our ABCs. We learned to read, right? And then real education started coming in as we got into school. We started really, truly learning a lot of new things. Excuse me. But at some point, we reached a point in our life where life was no longer about that growth and change. It was about us. You see, we found our focus on lots of different things, and at some degree, we begin to like consistency. We like to know what we could count on. Now, some things in your life you knew you liked the way they were. Maybe it was your relationship with your parents, and you liked that. Right? You found comfort in that. You found security in that. Maybe it was in your relationship with your younger or older brother or sister, right? Maybe you had that in your life. And it was that touchstone. It was that that safety or comfort zone that you needed to feel secure, that you needed to feel safe, that you needed in your life to be able to keep moving forward. But my friends, I want you to understand you have that today. You have that in your life today. If you've got family, I guarantee you, you've got a touchstone. Your family will always be there for you. They'll be there to back you up. Hopefully you have that right relationship. If not, it's with a friend, it's with another family member, but somebody in your life is that anchor. Somebody in your life is that consistency for you. So as you grow, as you change, as you move on through your life, they're going to be there with you through thick and through thin. You've always got that base and security. You don't always need everything to stay the same. Here's the issue. If you look for everything to stay the same, you don't ever grow. You don't ever change. You don't ever learn. And as a result, if you're not learning, you're making the same mistakes again and again and again. So change becomes almost a necessity. It is part of our human structure. It is part of one of the human needs is to grow and to change. And if you're resisting that, you're resisting a very basic human need for you and your life. So I want to get into that a little bit more and talk about that, but I do want to make sure to recognize some other people that have joined in. Janine, I'm glad you're here. Janine McConnell, Terry Collins, I'm glad you're here. Connie Davis, thanks for jumping in. Bobette Lowe, I'm glad you are here. Oh, Susan Brierly, there you are. Good morning. Glad to see you here too. Thanks so much for joining in. You see, this show, while this is something you can count on every single Monday through Friday at 7:30, we have new people joining in. We have new people here talking. And hopefully at this point, you've seen the show change. You've seen it evolve. You've seen me evolve in that. Maybe this is still something new for you, but I guarantee you we are going to take this from where we are now and we are going to catapult our lives. We are going to move into another dimension, grow in ways that we never knew possible. So there is, I'm going to announce it right now. I do not want this show to stop. So in this announcement, I want to make sure we've got some consistency. Hey, Adam, I'm glad you joined in because I want you to hear this next part too. You see, at the end of March, for the first time in a long time, my wife and I are going to take vacation. I will not have access where I'm at to the internet. But this show needs to continue. I am going to be looking for guest hosts. And if you're interested in being a guest host for Chainbreakers 365 coming up here in about 2 months, I want you to reach out to me. I may end up reaching out to you if I haven't heard from you, but I'm looking forward to hopefully you're willing to step in and host this show. I think it'll be a great cross collaboration, and hopefully we'll have more people continuing to grow this show again and again and again. I can also tell you I have been very, very pleased with the continuing growth of this show. For the longest time, I was sharing it out again and again and again. Me. Now, several of you are doing that. But we have grown from a daily viewership of maybe somewhere in the 200s to the point where it's getting 500 and 600 and 700 a day. I truly believe we can grow into the thousands in a very short period of time. We have done what we've done in just about 7-8 months, 6 or 7 months, roughly. But if you're interested, I want you to reach out to me. Let me know you're interested in co-hosting at least or guest hosting at least one show during that week that I'm going to be gone. I want to thank you so much for being here, guys. But this is all about change, right? It's about changing and evolving in the show. It's about changing and evolving with you and your life. And maybe you've never hosted a show before. Maybe this is your opportunity for breakthrough and growth. And if it isn't, then what are we here for? If we're not willing to try to stretch out and break the chains that have had us anchored, we're not willing to step out of our comfort zone, then what are we on here for? This is about creating real growth in your life, becoming the person that you know you are called to be. You see, we have this burning desire inside of us, this aching desire to become more than what we are. Yesterday at church, Pastor was talking about where it is that we go out and how do we let people know we're Christians. And I want to use this as an example. Some of us simply try to let people know by the way we live our lives. Others go out and we are indeed tending to the harvest field. And some of us have harvest fields at work, right? Maybe it's the small group of people that we work with. Maybe we're teachers, right? And we've got this huge harvest field that we can work with, hundreds of people that we deal with on a daily basis. And there are some people that work daily in a battlefield. There you see more of the negative side of society than any of us can even imagine. And it's not only a harvest field, but it's a battlefield that's going on right where you work. You see, those same people have the strongest structure, the strongest ability to deal than any of us could possibly imagine, because they have to overcome all of that negativity every day. We deal with some of it in what we refer to as a setback, or maybe knocking us a little bit out of sorts. But these people, that is every single day for them. Maybe it's nurses, right? Maybe it's people in the legal system. Maybe there's all sorts of different areas out there that you're dealing not only in harvest fields, but in battlefields. Maybe it's dealing with children and family services. Maybe you're working in the government. Oh my goodness, what a battlefield. My friends, there is such an ability to make a real impact, and you become the light in the darkness. You become the ability to make real change, not only in you, but there is somebody every single day that you can hopefully change their lives, even if just for a little bit. They stand out, don't they? Sometimes we think of it as the impact we make on us. Maybe it's time to look at the impact we can make on them. Maybe. And maybe that takes a whole different structure than what you've been at. Maybe that's the growth you're looking for. Just maybe, right? But there are a lot of opportunities that each of us has to grow in. Maybe it's in hosting Chainbreakers 365 Live. My friends, I want to thank you for being here, because you are part of what grows this every single day. You are part of what feeds into Chainbreakers 365, the positive, uplifting messages, and it's in hashtag uplift and rise, right? It is in that we uplift people every day. It's by talking about these messages that are also hosted over on YouTube at Chainbreakers 365 or at chainbreakers365.com, and people are going into work and they're talking about the great message they heard, and they're sharing it by playing it back, because it's easier to find there sometimes than it is to go back through in Facebook. But my friends, you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to create real change for you in your life. What is the goal that you want to create? What is the change you want to create? What is the life that you want to create for you and yourself? It is a great opportunity for you to be here every day and to learn. But if we don't learn, we don't grow. And as a result, we end up being the tool that ends up hitting the goal for somebody else instead of for you and your family. Are you going to hit a goal for you, or are you going to hit a goal for somebody else? Now, that's not to say that they can't be aligned with each other. Maybe you've got your own personal goal within a bigger team. That's also very possible. But you need to understand what this means to you and for you, and not only for you, but for you and your family. If this message has been meaningful to you today, I encourage you to share this out. Tag somebody in this that you think this might be helpful for, but invite them back here tomorrow. Be here tomorrow yourself as we continue to move forward and grow every single day with Chainbreakers 365 Live. Thanks so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have an awesome, memorable day, my friends, and be memorable yourself. Bye now.